Hi there. Now, as you probably know, we've been rained off school for a day. So me and the bear, let's have a look at the bear. Me and the bear. I've got to stay in today. I know, it's boring, isn't it? So what we thought we'd do is we show you how to make pickles. Now, obviously, before I make them properly, after giving a bear a big cuddle like that, I have to wash my hands. So I will do that in a minute. But at the minute, I'll just go through the process. And later on, what I'll do is I'll show you some pictures of the pickle I've made. Now, here I am in my almost finished kitchen. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. 2 years, we're getting there. Okay. First of all, what you need for a good pickle, and this pickle is similar to Branston pickle, but I'm winging it a bit. I always wing it with pickles. And this is properly called a chutney. Nice word. Now, we use plenty of apples. Now, because I've got lots of apples and they all need peeling, they all need washing, they all need coring, I've got my little machine here. And my little machine does all of that for me. There we go. So, it's got a suction cup on it, and then all I have to do is wind it, usually. Now, this doesn't fit here, it fits, whoops, back here. So, there. And then I'll put it on the prongs of this thing, and then all I do is move my cup of tea, come up that spill, and just turn the handle around. Now what happens is all the core and all the apple itself, there we go, oh, sharpness sometimes, there we go, you see, and that happens, right, and then all I have to do is pull off my core of my apple, and you can see, there, down, and you can see, it's got a hole in it. So that's my core out, and my skin off, now I can get ready and cook that. You want plenty of onions, all recipes vary. I'll move this for one iota. Oh yes, and what you do need to do is if you've got any brown bits, cut them well out. There is a nasty substance in the fungus in apples, bad apples, that produces a chemical called portolin, which is poisonous. So cut the bad bits out. They don't taste bad as much as they are bad. Okay, then we want your onions. Onions you peel and chop in the usual way. What I'll put in is these. Now these are tiny wild plums. Now wild plums are absolute pain because in a wild plum you have a wild plum stone. You have to get rid of it, especially to make pickles. So years ago I bought one of these. Put your plums in there and out it stamps the seeds into the container underneath. And then I stick them in bags and I freeze them. So now it's time to use them. Also use some peppers, light peppers, sweet peppers, chili peppers, a couple of different sorts. Also put in some cucumbers. Cucumbers always only a small amount. They've got such a lot of water in them that they make your cooking time incredibly long. So just for a little bit. Sugar, brown sugar I like. I'll bung some tomatoes in. A tin of tomatoes is fine. Again, be very careful how many tomatoes you put in because tomatoes have got a lot of water with them. I use some ginger and I use pickling spice. Now you can get it in a jar like that, but you need to tie it in something like a handkerchief. I use muslin cloth when you cook your chutney, because you do not want these hard little seeds in your chutney. It makes it horrible to eat, but you do want the flavour. So you cook them till the flavour disperses through the chutney. The chutney itself, I'll cook in a rather large saucepan. You need vinegar, always important. Cider vinegar is by far the best. I'm trying this stuff this year. I think it's from Aldi. It was cheap, so let's hope it's good. And you want some spices. Now, I like ground ginger, a little bit, not too much. You don't want it to be a ginger pickle. You want it to just give that little hotness and flavour. And something that's always important that we don't see an awful lot of here, they call it in India brown mustard seeds. However, they're really quite black almost. Now, these don't need to be ground up. They actually go in the pickle as they are, and they're little crunchy. It's quite nice and ideal. And it's around here somewhere. I've got a jar of black peppercorns. I like to bung a few of them in to surprise the unwary. Anyway, there is an awful lot to go into this chutney. I've got an awful lot preparing to do. It is really for a day like today. When it's raining outside, we're rained off school. Grab as many apples as you can. If you've got an apple tree in the garden, just pick them. And they don't have to be beautiful because you're going to cut most of them off. They just have to be able to peel them, like I've just done. And you heat it all up, and then you really got to heat it and reduce a lot of the moisture. So when you heat it, it'll have like a lot of water sloshing around on the top. Ideally, you've got to sort of heat it low and long to boil that off. And then when you've got it, and then it should look like Brankston pickle, when it's nice and solid, yeah, then you know you're just about there. There are plenty of recipes around. If I were you today, I would wing it. Just make sure you've got enough sugar and enough vinegar in there. Now, you don't have to use cider vinegar. You can use white wine, red wine vinegar, or ordinary vinegar. If you're going to go for anything and you can't get either of the wine vinegars, get some distilled vinegar, distilled white vinegar. It works a treat, and it doesn't give that malty flavour. Not that that's a bad thing, but in this occasion I quite like the cidery flavour. Apples with cider is always lovely. Lastly to say, there's no alcohol in this at all. And then you want some nice jars to put them in. Now the jars, again, the same as for the jam. They go in the oven at 150 degrees for about half an hour. So bung them in the oven half hour before you know you're finished. And they're nice and warm. Just be warned though, that the jars will be 150 degrees, which is over boiling point by a long way when you get them out. So you need to cool slightly before you put in your chutney, which at most will be 110 degrees. And it'll just mean you run the risk of shattering the glass. However, you do not want that, so I'm just wondering what the bear's up to. And so really, that's about it. But have some fun. It's a great day for it, and with no water at school, we might as well do it. By the way, I'm doing 2 batches. I'm going to do 1 batch with the hot chili peppers, because I like hot chili peppers. Not everybody does, so just leave them out for a batch. Don't have to put them in. So that's me. What I will do is probably show you a couple of jars on the Grojo, and so you can see what happened at the end of today. Now I'm going to go and upload this video now and then start cooking. And if I do that, at least you stand a chance of doing something today interesting. And have fun. Okay guys, see you later. Bye.